Okay, I had a request for some help with San Antonio Rose by Don Reno. And before I get into the tune here, you're going to notice that my hand looks very white. No, I'm not an albino. This is a glove that I'm wearing, and there's a reason for it. And I'll go into that in another video. But I didn't want you to be distracted by it and wondered why I'm wearing it. There is a reason for it. It has something to do with focal dystonia, which is a problem I've had for quite a few years with my hands. If you're familiar with Tom Adams, he has a similar problem. But I'll do another video about the glove and about the problem that I've had for quite a while with my hand. But anyway, we'll get into the tune here. San Antonio Rose was in the key of D on the record that he did with Red Smiley. And Don was actually using the capo on the 2nd fret and playing out of the C position. Usually Don live, he loved to play this song live. He did it in a lot of shows, but he would always play it in the key of C, and that's obviously because he didn't want to use the capo to play it in D. But so we're going to do this out of C, out of the C position as well, so I don't have to use a capo. But if you're going to play with the record or the CD or whatever, you're probably going to have to put your capo on, and it can be done without the capo, but it won't be exactly the way he played it on the record. But you'll have to probably use a capo, put it in 2nd fret, play in your C position. So we're going to start here in your C chord up here, and it just walks straight up to your C chord on the 5th fret, like this. Okay? And all I'm doing, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the main part of it. I think most of the questions people have is the single string part and the brush part that he does. The first go around, just the simple melody of it's pretty simple, so you should be able to pick it up fairly easy. But we'll go through it and show you what I'm doing here, so you can at least get it. So we're going to start here on your C, and like I said, we're going to walk up to this 5th fret on your C chord, or your C chord on the 5th fret, barred C. Alright, what I'm doing is I'm just pinching these 1st and 2nd strings together. I'm coming back to your C here and ending up on the G note to get that melody. Alright, then we're going to walk up to your F chord from your 2nd fret. You hit it open, 2nd fret, 3rd fret on your 4th string. Okay, so we're walking from an F to a D. Alright. What I'm doing is I'm walking up, then I'm pulling off on the 2nd fret right out of your F shape to an open G to your D chord. Alright. Okay. And you just do a normal little roll or whatever you want to do when you get to D. Alright. Then I'm going to go to G. So you just go to G, slide into this 4th fret on the 3rd string. Alright, very easy stuff, similar to a lot of tunes, but I'm hitting that 7th note on your 4th string on the 3rd fret there to your C. Hammering on there, I think. Okay. Alright, and then he does it again. Alright, this time around he does it a little different when he's going back to the C. Now this is how you know the bridge is coming up, because he'll walk down from your 2nd fret to your 1st fret on the 3rd string, and then to your C. Sounds like this. Okay. So I'm just getting that melody in there. Okay? Alright, so it sounds like this from the beginning. Alright, something like that. And I forget how many times he does that. I think maybe he repeats it differently every time, but I can't remember. But listen to the record and get how many times he repeats that first part. I think maybe he plays it 3 times through before he goes to the bridge. But anyway, that's basically the basic thing he's doing there. But anyway, when we're getting ready to go into the bridge, we're doing this little. All right, and then the key changes to G. So. So that part there is G. Alright. And it's basically like a lot of kickoffs you do on bluegrass. Just pinching the first and second strings together. Walking up to that 3rd fret on your 2nd string. And then we're going to back up to your 2nd fret on your 2nd string. Alright, and then to your 1st fret on your 2nd string. Alright, you're just getting that melody. Alright, and you'll just have to listen to the record and watch what I'm doing here to get the rolls right. The rolls vary anyway. You know, it just depends on how you want to play it and how Don, felt about it at the time. He never played the same thing twice anyway. So just get the basic positions and the melody down. And I like to slide into this partial G chord. It's on your right out of your F-shaped G. This double stop here. Right out of your F-shaped G. So. Okay. And at this point, we're going to go to a D chord. Actually, it's a D7th, but everybody else goes to a regular D. So. All right. What I'm doing is I'm going into this D7th. This is the same D7th based out of your barred position. So. And you're just backing that up. It's the same D7th shape that you use, and I Know You're Married at the end of the break. Okay, same D7th you would use in Dixie Breakdown. Alright, so. Okay. Now I was hitting the 5th string during that D, and that was wrong. Let me do that again. Okay, that's more like it. What I'm doing is I'm sliding up on the 2nd string into this D7th position. So, all right, and I'm backing that 2nd string up to your 5th fret. So I'm kind of holding down like an A minor shape. But it's really this D7th that I'm playing out of. But I'm holding that A minor shape, and I'm walking the ring in the middle down to this note on the 5th fret on the 2nd string. That's your melody line. So, and keep the roll going while you're doing it. Stay on the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st strings. Okay, and this is a tricky little bit that's in this tune. This is maybe some of the questions that you may have on this song. So let me play that again. See, I'm rolling straight on that A minor right there. Okay. out of this D seventh, you're going to come right back into your F-shaped G, and you're just going to do some pinches there on your first and second strings, and then roll forward and pull off on the 5th fret on the 2nd string and hold this. You're still holding that shape down, the F-shaped G. So, and then pinch your 3rd to 4th string on your 3rd to 4th fret on your 3rd string. So, okay, kind of hard to explain, but you can see what I'm doing there. And that's really tricky, that D7. Okay, but that kind of thing there is very Reno. He forces notes in, melody lines in, where it's just kind of tricky to do. And he would use whatever roll he needed to get the melody, whether it made sense or not. Okay, just learn these positions here and work on getting that melody in there. Okay, you should be able to get it from that, but those are the positions there. So he plays that, and then he comes back again. So he comes to the G at the end of it, grabbing this partial C on your 2nd and 1st strings on the 5th fret, then this partial F on your 1st and 2nd strings. That's right out of your D-shaped F. And what he's doing is he's transitioning from the key of G back to C. So he's hitting kind of a 7th note. He's walking into back to the C. So it's all on the 1st and 2nd strings out of these partial chord positions. Try to get my fingers out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. Alright. Let me see if I can play that whole bridge for you there. Alright. And like I said, you can pinch these, you can roll these things. You could do a continuous roll like that instead of slide into some of them. Don't stick to just what I'm showing you here. Just, get these positions down that he's using and then come up with your own thing. Like I said, Don never did the same thing twice. He would always vary everything. So anyway, you're coming out of the key of G now back to C. So then he would repeat what he started to begin with. All right. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I mean, he goes around like that a couple of times, I think, and then he does a few different variances on the bridge, which we'll go into now. So when he comes back and he does this walk down from the C, from the G to the C, that's how you know he's getting ready to go into the bridge, because he hits that melody line. So you could play this 4 or 5 times through on the C part, as long as you let everybody know that you're going to the G part, the bridge part, by hitting these melody notes. When they hear that, they know they're getting ready to change keys. So anyway, when he does this the second time, or whatever, the third time he does it, and we're changing keys here, we're going to go to the G chord, but this time he does a brush break during the G chord. So we're going to brush open the 3rd and 2nd strings and we're just going to walk up with that partial G chord that we did before. Just a partial double stop right out of your F-shaped G. So just walk that up, just like double banjo blues or something like that. You probably already know how to do that, and I'm muting the bridge back here with the palm of my hand to give it that muffled sound. All right, just 1, 2, 3. Back it up, back it up, and then back to the same position you were in, the G shape. Back to this position. It's kind of like a D7th. But it's all that same double stop as far as your fingers go. You're just moving it to different frets. Alright, then you brush it open at the end of that passage there. Then we're going to D. This is where we would normally do the... Alright, we go to D. Alright. I like to slide into that. We're sliding, I'm barring my finger across the 3rd and 2nd strings to the 7th fret. And we're going to lay these fingers flat. It's important to learn how to do that in Reno style, laying your fingers flat. So you can do that kind of thing there. You lay your fingers flat across 2 strings to play the double stops, because it'd be really hard to do it individually with individual fingers. So alright, all I'm doing is backing these double stops on the 3rd and 2nd strings, 7th, 6th, 5th, to get the melody that I want. And I'm hammering on too. Alright. Do all kinds of stuff like that. Okay. I think that was how he did it on the record there. Okay. When I'm coming out of this D, I'm hitting this partial, this is still in D at this point. We're hitting this, a double stop on your 5th fret. That's kind of like a C chord. Then we're going back to your G double stop, to your C double stop again, and back to your G. Okay, a little hard to explain, but you can see what I'm doing. Lay my fingers across flat. Alright. Sometimes I'll do a little hammer on pull off using the double stops. Okay, just add a little something to it if you want to. And I know, I remember that Don does a little thing here on the 2nd part of that thing. He something like that. He adds a little flurry in there. And what he's doing is he's taking his 1st finger and coming up with it to add an extra note in there. So he's not really hitting both notes, the 3rd and 2nd strings, with the finger. He's brushing down with the thumb, hitting both notes, but he's kind of coming up and hitting the 2nd string with his index finger, his pointer finger here. This is how he does these Chuck Berry licks. So he's brushing down and then coming up with the 1st finger. and then up with the first finger. Alright, so okay, we're hitting those same double stops. Now we're going to walk back into C. So you're hitting that partial C on your first and second string, still brushing. That whole thing is brush. Then you're hitting this partial F chord like we did on the first and second strings. Alright? Alright? Let me play that whole thing again. The bridge, the brush break to the bridge. Alright? Okay. We're going to start down here out of your D-shaped C chord. Alright? And we're going to be playing on the second and first strings. We're going to be playing this note here on your 13th fret on the second string and your 12th fret on the first string. So, and we're going to come over here and grab this note on the 14th fret on the first string. But you want to kind of keep your fingers in this position. I hope you can see what I'm doing there. I try to keep my other fingers out of the way so you can see, but what I'm doing is I'm coming up here and I'm hitting that 13th fret on the second string to the 12th fret on the first string and then the 13th fret on the first string. So just kind of go back and forth on those. Hopefully you can get that from what I'm doing here. Alright? Alright, after you do that, we're going to come over here to your F-shaped C chord on your second fret or your second string out of that F shape. Hit your 10th fret to your 11th fret. Just walk it back to your third string on your 10th fret. And walk that up to your 9th fret. To your 9th fret on the third string, to your 10th fret on the fourth string. Kind of hard to explain. I haven't slowed this down in a long time. All I'm doing is walking through this F shape. I'm kind of hitting some 7th notes. I'll play that slow so you can get that. Okay? Alright? Now, it's really hard to play fast. Alright? I mean, Don really flies with it on the tune. Alright, so we're in C there. I think that should be enough that you can figure it out what I'm doing there. Like I said, it's hard to explain, but... Alright. Then we're going to go to F and D, just like you normally would in the, the beginning. This is what the chords are doing. We're going to walk through this. We're in the F shape, or your D shape F, sorry. So, to this D shaped F. 1, 2, 3 from your 5th fret to your 7th fret on the 4th string. If you can see what I'm doing there. Down to your 3rd string, to the 5th fret, to the 7th, back to the 5th fret, to your 4th string on your 7th fret. So, right out of that F D shape. Sometimes I hammer onto that last note. Alright. Then you hit your 4th string open, you're in a D chord at this point. So we're just walking that up on your 2nd, 3rd, 4th fret on your 4th string. And then hitting your D note on your 2nd string on your 3rd fret. You're right in that D chord. Alright, so it sounds like this from the beginning. Alright, and then alright. Okay, and that's it. That's the single string break. Okay, I'm going to show you this partial chord break that Don does towards the end of the song. The first part of it, he basically plays it like he did in the beginning. So, alright, so when you get to the D, you're getting ready to go back into the G chord. We're going to play this E minor position is what it is. Don likes to use a minor chord against a major to walk back and forth, but it's an E minor. That's the full chord. We're not going to use the 4th string. We're going to stay on the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st, but that's the chord we're playing. Alright? We're going to back that up first. When we come out of the D, we're going to play the same E minor position, but we're going to bring it back 1 fret, and we're going to pinch the 3rd and 2nd strings and move it up to the E minor position. So we're pinching those 3rd and 2nd strings twice, and then we're going to pinch. You can use your fingers down here or bring your thumb and 1st finger down to do it if you want to, or you can use the brush strokes if you want to. Alright, I think Don's pinching it on the original version. Like I said, it gives you a little different sound. So alright, and that's what he's doing. Coming down and then pinching the 1st and 2nd, back to the 3rd and 2nd, walking it down to the 3rd fret. Then he comes back up to the E minor, back to the 3rd fret, and then your C chord. Alright, so it sounds like this. I think he's sliding into that last E minor, but something like that. You can slide into it if you want to, or not. Okay, it's fairly simple. Alright, and then we're going to go into another double stop here. You're going to flat your fingers across the B, basically like a B chord. It's going to be similar to what we did during the D. Those double stops there. We're going to do that in C this time, basically. We're going to start out on your B chord and then move to your C on your 3rd and 2nd string. So lay those fingers flat, and I'm pinching it to give it a different sound. So I'm backing it down to a B flat. So B, C, C, B, B flat. Alright. Pretty simple. And you can brush that as well if you want to. Depends on the sound. Alright. Then at this point we're in a C7th. That's basically what he's doing, is he's walking to the C and then walking to a C7th. We can go right into that barred D7th that we did in the D part. Alright, so your fingers should be already in that position, almost ready to do that C7th, because that's really what we're doing. But what we're going to do is, at that point, we're going to grab the same notes out of that C7th barred position, your 3rd fret on your 3rd string and your 5th fret on the 1st string, and we're going to pinch those together. So your 3rd and 1st strings, we're pinching them. And we're going to walk that same position up to your F. Alright, keep that same position to your D chord. So it's that same pinch right there, your 3rd and 1st strings to your F, and then walk it back down to your D. Alright? So let me do that from the beginning here. Something like that. And you can vary it a little bit if you want to, but those are the basic positions. So when you get back down to the D, you're going to go right back into that E minor. Okay, and then just do a little roll and get back into your C. So I'll play that whole thing for you. It might be a little bit different than that on the end. I think that might be what he did on the record, but either way, that is the positions that he's using. So let me do that again from the D. So it's a little tricky. Listen to the record to get that little. He's hitting that pinch, that first pinch on the C7th twice. So before he walks up to your D. All right, and then at the ending, I believe he does this on the original. It just runs down to your C chord to end it. Alright? It's just like the follow the leader. Alright? You're running through your D chord C. You probably already know how to do that. You've probably learned that in some other videos or off his records. And you're just ending up in your C chord. And then again, Don he would strum up on a minor chord at the end of a song like that. He's playing a minor chord against a major chord. So what I'm doing is I'm playing an A minor up here at your 14th fret. It's just like your A minor here. But we're doing it up the neck. But we're going to leave the first string open. You leave your D string open and just strum up the neck. Or strum down it. It's up to you. Or you could do an A minor back here. It's up to you. As long as it gives it that little curious type sound at the end of it when you strum it. Kind of a pretty chord. Okay?